What's going on, y'all? I'm Che McFadden with Just Che LLC and Truckers Hustle. Look, I want to talk today about you starting your own trucking business, your own trucking company, whether it's a single truck or a small fleet, large fleet, a single truck with you and your spouse. Pretty much getting your trucking company started, where you need to start, and the things that you need to look at and what you can expect to have to deal with when you start your own trucking company, okay? So jumping right into it, the first thing is determine that capacity that you want to start with, whether it's getting your own truck or putting somebody in one or starting a little fleet, something like that. Okay. If you know how you want to start, that's going to make the rest of the process a little bit more manageable. I'm not going to say easy, but it's going to make it a little bit more manageable. Okay. So, like, for example, if you're looking to start your own trucking company under your own authority, there are extra steps that you need to complete to get this thing done. Like, you need to get a USDOT number, which is United States Department of Transportation number, MC number, which is a motor carrier number. If the taxes, you need to establish that. That's the International Fuel Tax Agreement. Your HVUT, which is the Heavy Vehicle Usage Tax, which is also known as the 2290. Your international registration plan, which is the plan that you need to have in place in order to register your commercial motor vehicle either to your name or your company's name. And last but not least, you need to figure out insurance as well. Okay. Now I'm going to sum all of this up really quick. That all the paperwork and stuff like that, I'm going to sum all of that up with a figure so that you can know what to expect to have either in the bank or in your hand or pocket or whatever when it comes to getting that stuff established. You're looking honestly at about a cool $8,000. Okay. That's on the high end. That's on the high end because I'm factoring in insurance. Insurance is going to be the most expensive thing out of all of it. All right. Between Great American Trucking Company and I think it's Great American Trucking Insurance Company. They tend to give out pretty decent quotes if you have a good driving record. If you have the experience behind a commercial motor vehicle wheel, they will work with you. They do pretty decent. Okay. Companies like Progressive or Geico, USAA, if they even provide commercial motor vehicle insurance, you're gonna pay a grip for them. All right. And a lot of times they want you to pay 2 months in advance. So when I did mine through Progressive back in 2016. I had at the time 3 years under my belt driving, no accidents, no tickets, anything like that. And they quoted me $3,200 per month, $6,400 for a down payment to get the policy started. And I didn't have that money. Okay. I had my money tied up in putting it on the down payment on my truck, making sure I had everything that I needed for it. And that was it. Okay. And making sure I had enough money left over for fuel to take my first contract for whoever I decided to go running for. All right. So just keep that kind of thing in mind. Okay. For the MC, you are looking at somewhere between about $400 and $600. Okay. Now, on the low end, you're taking care of all of that paperwork. You're not having anybody come in and do any of the paperwork and figure things out for you. But when that number starts to get up there, $600, $700, $800, you're paying somebody to take care of filing the motor carrier paperwork, the necessary motor carrier paperwork that you need to file. Okay. Now, I started my business back in 2016, and when I started, I didn't get my own authority, okay? Because, and that's a topic for another video, but I didn't get my own authority because there was a lot of extra stuff that was involved in that, and I knew that I could still be successful in what I was doing without having to start my own authority, all right? I had my truck, and I had my name tied to it, which was cool. That was fine. All right. But when it comes to doing the research for that kind of stuff, I looked at the USDOT separate from the motor carrier. Okay. those are two numbers that you'll see on trucks listed, either one above the other. The USDOT is usually on top, motor carrier is usually on the bottom of it. And there were two separate prices for those numbers when I first did the research for them. It was 300, and that was for the USDOT, and it was about the 400 to 600 for the motor carrier. Now I'm seeing in my research recently, like within the past day and a half or so, the USDOT is not, it doesn't cost anything to get it. Now the fine line with that is it doesn't cost anything to register and get one, but it does cost to file for one. So it kind of doesn't make sense. So bear with me while we're all still learning a lot of things with what we call, or what's known as the FMCSA, changes on a pretty regular basis. Okay, they come out with changes with things each year. Sometimes every other year they come up with these new additions to some of these policies, and we have to keep up with them. It's on us to keep up with some of these things. Subcontractor versus full authority. Okay, you've definitely got a lot of pros and cons here between the two. All right, your own authority, your full authority, you're not really limited to anything. All right, if you've got the equipment to pull it and haul it, you can go haul it. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You're gonna have to haggle with freight brokers and agents about prices and the cost of the freight, things like that. It's a little bit more involved having your own authority, but you're not under the microscope of anybody rushing you to get you to a load or get you to a pickup, anything like that. You are in full control. Okay. Now, subcontracting, it's the same thing without a lot of the extra stuff. All right. The biggest difference between the two, in my opinion, is the amount of insurance that you're going to pay. If you subcontract for a company, for one of the big four, I call them the big four, like Landstar, Mercer, Admiral Merchants, Bennett Transportation. You subcontract for one of them, your insurance is going to be extremely affordable. Okay, extremely affordable. You might spend somewhere between about a couple hundred, if that, per month for insurance. That's full trucking insurance, as we call it. Okay, that's cargo with the $750,000 to $1 million policy. Okay, so it's very cost effective when you subcontract. All right, couple $100 a month versus couple $1,000 a month easily. That right there was the number one thing that had me like, I don't need to run full authority or anything like that. I can make this thing work, subcontract, run my business, and still go home and sleep just fine at night. So yeah, we'll get into subcontracting and the differences between that and having your full authority a little bit more deep into the differences between those two in a later video. All right. In the meantime, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be, alerted when these things come out. I'm going to be rolling them out in the next few days. So definitely stay posted. Okay. Finances and financing. You want to have all that stuff in order. If you don't have any of the money to get any of this stuff done, you need to start looking at how to get this money. Okay. There's another video that I have out about the $10,000 myth, as I call it. Okay. And this myth essentially is everybody telling you that you need to have $10,000 saved up in the bank in case something goes wrong. Right. I'm going to summarize that really quick by saying this. If you're starting your own company, you're starting out, you're going to have a lot of money tied up into a lot of things: the truck, the paperwork, the registration plan, and the equipment. Okay. You probably won't have anything left over. All right. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're going out here and you're buying a new truck or a used truck or something like that, it's on you to make sure that it's going to pass inspection and it's going to be able to pull several loads. If you can successfully navigate the inspection and your pre-trip and everything checks out just fine, then you shouldn't have to worry about spending any considerable amount of extra money or needing any amount of extra money like that to that scale in the bank in case something goes wrong. Okay. It's a ridiculous thing to me. And everybody that has told me about having $10,000 saved up in the bank, they don't even have their trucking companies anymore. All right. They don't have them anymore. They either got upside down in them or they decided to get out of it because of, tax situations and things like that. But it's a story for another time. All right. Obtaining equipment, whether it be the truck, the trailer, and the necessary things to make those things work. So like me, I was an open platform driver, or I pulled a step deck. Basically, I needed to make sure I had the money to buy my chains, straps, tarps, edge protection, things like that. Okay. All of that stuff cost me probably about $3,000. All right. To get all of that stuff immediately, it was about $3,000 to $3,500. Can you find it cheaper? Yeah, you can find it for a decent price. But if you're limited to where you can go, limited access, things like that, then you can expect to spend about $3,000 to $3,000 for all of that stuff. Okay. Other than that, guys, that's really about it to kind of get things going. I just want to break the ice a little bit and let y'all know that it's a way to do this without getting upside down. And if you ever find yourself in a situation where you feel like you're swimming, then you need to reevaluate. Okay. A lot of people frown against they frown upon starting a trucking company or getting a trucking business going because of all the expenses. Yes, things are expensive. Putting tires all around on a truck and trailer cost about somewhere between about 10 to 13 grand. Okay. 5 tires went on my truck and I spent $3,500. Okay. So that lets you know 10 tires on a truck total for the all same quality, looking at about $7,000 for those. And the similar tires going on the trailer, yeah, you're going to be minus what, 2? You're going to be pushing well over $10,000 if you should ever have to replace every tire. If you find yourself in a situation having to replace all 18 tires on the truck at the same time, you really screwed up somewhere and you got to do some reevaluating on your own, man. All right. But look, wrapping this up again, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can stay posted with what's coming. And I look forward to bringing y'all some legit information that you can actually use and go forward with. All right. Stay tuned. I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you.
Get it, 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 hey, get it, get it, get it, hey, get it, get it, get it, get it, yeah, get it, get it, on my soul, ain't no letting up.